and welcome to the video presentation of the Global Logistics Management System developed in ASP.NET Core with C# backend language. So I'll just go ahead and run the application. So this is the landing page of the application showing some basic information about the system. System is called Global Logistics and consists of the following pages. It has the home page showing some information about it, and then moving on to some of the services that are offered on the application. As you can see, we have international, smart contracts, service requests, and local operations, because we serve both global and local audiences. So going now to the international tab on the navigation bar, we are greeted by this lovely user interface showing a dashboard style design in a table format for our international client. The table shows client name, passport number, country, state, email address, telephone, currency, and actions, which are these actions that we are able to do on each of these clients. So for example, we are able to edit a client. So I'm just going to edit Chami to Chamisa and maybe change them from Zambia to Tanzania and save changes. As you can see, we're able to change the name of the first client from Roland Chami to Roland Chamisa, and we're able to change them from Zambia to Tanzania. And then now we are also able to create a new client. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in Yolanda Malebo, and then their passport number is just going to be this bunch of numbers here, and then their country, we could say they come from Kenya and Kinshasa state. Then you can say malebo@outlook.com, and the telephone number could be +241. Again, this is dummy data for illustrative purposes. Then we enter euro as our preferred currency, and then after that we'll have Yolanda Malebo as our new international client. We're also able to view details of the client in this nice user interface. We are also able to go back to the list, and we're also able to delete if ever we should want to delete our clients as well, using this nicely implemented user interface. And now going to our contracts. So on the contracts, we have this dashboard style design once again, and we are also having this search and filter function, which enables admins to search and filter using name, status, and a date range by stating a date range from start date to end date. So for example, if you want to filter by active statuses, by expired statuses I mean. So as you can see, we have all these statuses, and we're expecting only this status to appear when we filter by expired. So we want to apply our filter, and as you can see, we're able to retrieve the status that was expired. And then now we are also able to reset our filter so we can view all our contracts. So now I'm going to filter by active statuses, but I'm going to filter by date. So we can start maybe from the 15th. So and end on the 18th of May. So some of these contracts are not going to appear once we apply the filter. Yes, as you can see, some of the contracts, our contracts are not falling within this date range, so they did not appear. I'm just going to quickly reset to show that our search and filter function is fully operational. So going to our clients, on the first client, we can see all these details in a status of active. We're also able to download the service level agreement, as you can see, which is going to pop up now. As you can see there, this is just popped up, our service level agreement. And also we are able to view our contracts, the details of the contract. And we are also able to delete contracts, right? And on requests, we're also able to create service requests on the contracts that we have. However, we are not allowed to create service requests for contracts that are currently expired or don't have a status of active. So for example, if we go to our contract, we can see that this contract by Zintle is expired, or we could use this one from Palisa right here. Then going now to requests, try to create a service request on the last page construction, just call it service request, and then status to active, currency you can choose euro, then we just want, maybe let's say 200 euros, create service request. As you can see, the contract is on hold and we are therefore not able to create service requests on this, so meaning that our workflow has been successfully implemented to prevent any creation of service requests on contracts that do not have a status of active. So going back to our requests, we can then look through our contracts for contracts that are active, and we can see Mazala has an active status, so we will try to create a request for that one. So going now to create a new service request, we'll just leave the ID as it is, page construction, and then we'll say service details, and then quickly just filling out the details, and choose a currency of euro, and then that's, say we want 400 euros, and quickly create. Yes, we were able to now create our new status, and as you can see, there was conversion that happened from 400 to 7,750. That is our currency conversion API that is able to convert the base currencies to the target currency, which is the rands. So there it is, in 400 euros being 7,750 euros. We're also able to edit our service details. We are also able to view our service request details, and we are also able to delete service requests, right, using our lovely interface. Now going back to contracts, we are going to illustrate the creation of a contract. When we create a contract, we can choose a client ID. We can just use Uranda label, the one we just created, and we specify the range from which the contract will run. Say it runs from today to the 18th, and we have a service level of 99%, and our status is active. For contracts, we're also able to upload a service agreement document by just tuning browse. It's supposed to be in PDF format, and we can just click on that and then open, and then we say create our contract, and there our contract has been created, and we are also able to download our service level agreement, which will pop up here just now, and there we go. As well, again going back to our search and filter function, so we are able to search by statuses and date range as illustrated earlier. So let's say we want all the active contracts from let's just say the 18th, then we apply our filter. As you can see, the only contracts that are available from the 18th and have a status of active as well, these are the contracts that appear. Our search and filter function also uses link query, which will be shown now in our system pretty soon. We also have local clients, which are able to also apply CRUD operations to. Now going to our code implementation, I'm just going to stop running the application. So we have our program.cs where we've registered our services, our file validation service, contract service, client service, and currency conversion service. And we've also implemented our contract factory, our client factory pattern, which enables us to create both international and local clients. We've also created our flyweight. We've also implemented our flyweight pattern, which allows us to create contracts by using their intrinsic and extrinsic state, that is using the concrete contract itself and a flyweight of it that contains two of the properties belonging to the contract, because the system is going to handle more than thousands of contracts in a minute. So computers might need to have extra RAM space. So to avoid that issue where the program seems to crash because of lack of RAM, we've applied the flyweight design pattern, which is able to split the body of the contracts into two separate classes, in which one of the classes is a flyweight, which is reusable amongst the contracts, so it won't be creating full contract objects, allowing computers to have a lot of contracts at the same time. So we've also applied our observer pattern, which is able to alert clients of changes to the status of their contracts. For example, when a contract expires, the client will be alerted. When a contract status changes to on hold or something like that, our clients will be able to be notified about those changes. So again, going to our services, we have the client service. The client service basically communicates with the client factory to create international and local clients according to the values in these parameters. And then we have our contract service. A contract service is basically responsible for creating contracts according to the flyweight factory design pattern by using these by using these parameters that are provided. And then we have our currency conversion service, which basically uses a HTTP client to then communicate with an API that we are consuming in order to convert amounts from one currency to another, since this is an international system. Then we have our file validation service. Our file validation service basically validates files that are being uploaded to check if they are PDFs or not, and if they are not PDFs, then it throws an error like that. And then we also now have our notifier service. Notifier service works with our observer pattern to ensure that our users are notified of any changes to their contract statuses. And then we've also implemented integration and unit testing. So unit testing has been implemented in the following folder, where we basically just test our models to ensure that they are working correctly. And we've also implemented integration testing. Integration testing, we've tested, one of the tests that we've run is our currency conversion API test. We've also tested our file validation service, and then we tested also the registration of some of the other services, such as the notifier service right here, to ensure that it is implemented correctly, and that when it is called, it is not null. And then as well, for the last thing, I will just demonstrate our tests when they are running. It's going to open our test explorer. Yes, in total we have 23 tests. So we have 13 integration tests and 10 unit tests. So our system is currently building. The results will be shown shortly after the build is finished. So Yes, there we go. 23 tests passed, and that our system is fully functional and tested. And with that, I thank you.